My name is Kevin Edelson. Happy to be joined by head coach Brian Durocher from the women's ice hockey team. And we'll start off, coach, with just some general thoughts. And then if anyone wants to ask a question, just please raise your hand and I will get to you in an orderly fashion here. So, coach, without further ado, feel free to start off with just your general thoughts as we head into the opening weekend of the season.
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks to all of you for arranging this and giving us a little bit of airtime. I guess excitement's the one word. It's been a while, a long runway compared to what normally is a quick start into September. You can't even think or plan because everybody's so busy with the opening of school and taking care of compliance, taking care of training, et cetera, et cetera. But we've got a long runway, and there are some people that are putting on the skates that will be very anxious to get going, when we get up to UNH on Friday and Saturday. I think the kids have done their best to really, truly control what they can and not get too stressed out, not to get too high or too low about how things went. There was a kind of an early excitement that maybe sometime in November would be the start of the season. That got pushed back a ways, and here we are into December, heading toward finals. But I can assure you they'll be ready to go. And if they had to, walk up to UNH, I think they would to play some hockey games.
Great. Thank you very much. If anyone has any questions, feel free to raise your hand and we'll call on you here. All right. Pat, go ahead.
Sure. Coach, coming into this weekend against UNH where they've already played a series and you guys are coming into it after just practicing for the last few weeks, do you worry about maybe getting out to a little bit of a slow start?
Let's hope not. Let's hope that energy takes over, and the fact that you've got a decent amount of veteran players, particularly up front. Getting up to speed on the back end is going to be the big thing we want to get to very quickly here. UNH does have that slight advantage of maybe having played a couple games together, played against a real solid opponent in Boston College, and being familiar with the rink we're going to be playing in. But when it's all said and done, it's the same game that most of these kids have played for 15 or 16 odd years, and so hopefully they can be ready to relax, be ready to just execute, and not try to get too fast or too quick right out of the gate. We have an expression that maybe I stole from Coach Parker, but be quick but not in a hurry. And if we can do that, it'll benefit us getting started.
Great. Take another question. Pat or Brady.
Well, you mentioned Coach Parker there, and I'm interested to know, you two are obviously very experienced around college hockey. Has he had anything to say going into this, incredibly different year? Maybe any words of advice?
Well, unfortunately for all of us, he's a little more distanced than he was. Those first 3 years after he had retired, he was still around a little bit more. I'm still used to seeing him at most of the men's hockey games, the occasional trip in the Walter Braun Arena, and maybe see one of our games. But his advice, I think, is always that everybody's playing hard, that everybody's playing smart, and again, trying to relax when you get out there. We don't have nearly as much influence as coaches as people think. The kids have to play the games, the kids have to execute, and they're the ones that we count on to make us look good. But those would, I'm sure, be some of the words of wisdom from Coach Parker, and what he hoped and always expected out of his players.
Patrick, go ahead.
Yeah, just one more for me, Coach. You touched on it a little bit already, where the girls are trying to not get too high, too low with the scheduling changes. But how have you been trying to keep the team ready with the hurdles that have already come with the scheduling so far? You get a little false started with Maine there, and then all of a sudden you're playing this weekend.
Well, I think actually the slightly slowish start maybe has allowed us to gradually move forward. And even the last 2 weeks where, we have not played a game, I think it was something that the administration here wanted to see unfold, get us on the far side of Thanksgiving. That even gave us 2 more weeks to really iron out some things we needed to. We probably didn't put lines in place until just about that time 2 weeks ago. We've worked that much more on the power play and penalty kill, which is a big part of the game, special teams. So, if it comes to passing, if it comes to skating, if it comes to conditioning, goaltending, we certainly have had plenty of time and plenty of work put in place. But the slowish way we went about things, I think, has given the kids a little bit of a lead up, a good window with conditioning, and now a little bit extra time to sort of fine tune some things.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. And Coach Durocher, we appreciate it and wish you and the team the best of luck this weekend at UNH.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, everybody.